So last time on Dragon Ball Super, Vegito had, after 10 years imprisonment, become a cold and completely different man, trapped for a crime he did not mean to commit, until tragically, Whis finally appeared and sacrificed his own life to free the Saiyan. Once free, Vegito would return back to Universe 7 only to discover not only Earth but New Namek were now gone, seemingly erased by the same gods who imprisoned him. And now, with nothing in his heart but rage, Ultra Vegito declares he will hunt and kill every last god in the multiverse. And in today's manga, he will start with Universe 8's Liquiir. But before we begin, support this video and channel by leaving a like right now as you're reading this and watching this video till the very end for its jaw-dropping conclusion. Enjoy. So our story continues with the cold Ultra Vegito standing poised, rooted to the spot as all around him swarm sparks of dark electricity. His shirt is off, revealing a perfect form, as though his muscles are carved by hand, one by one. We've never seen a Saiyan like this before in the history of Dragon Ball, as he continues to mutter, "I will make this right, no matter what I have to do." But for a moment, Ultra Vegito then stands there in silence. His mood suddenly changed as his head bows, and thoughts run through his mind of his loved ones. Around him, we see that Ultra Vegito is thinking of Bulma, Chi-Chi, Trunks, Gohan, and Goten. He's wrecked with emotion, feeling a pain that none of us could ever understand. Slowly, words begin to come from his gritted teeth. My family, they're all gone, taken from me, and I didn't even get the chance to save them, to fight for them. And now, they're Dragon Balls, they're gone too. Why? For one mistake, they took everything else. Everything. There's an unnerving coldness to Ultra Vegito's stare, like a part of him has been broken. A part that maybe once broken can never be repaired again. But a thought comes to him. Ultra Vegito lifts his face and looks over his shoulder to the staff, his fist clenched in emotion. I can't let this be, but I also can't jump to conclusions. I have to know for sure what happened. They deserved more than this. I deserve more than this. Ultra Vegito then grabs the staff and peers into it, and sure enough, it soon begins to show an image. The scene shifts to show our big blue Earth perched effortlessly in the great expanse of space, the other planets lurking in the background. But as we zoom in closer into its atmosphere, suddenly all 11 gods of destruction are seen, for the first time all together on the planet of our heroes. Their looks a mixture of contempt and sinister pleasure, as if they know exactly what they are about to do. And Champa, with the most sinister smirk, then says, as he looks around to Belmod, I guess it's time to get this party started. You guys ready to have some fun? I know I am. This is the planet where those dirty scum grew up. And from what I hear, they even have some offspring around here, along with a ton of his comrades that all affiliate with that god killer. Belmod in response looks angry, a sneer smeared across his face as he then responds, How disgusting! How did Beerus even let such a pathetic planet exist? It's not like him to allow such disobedient mortals to coexist on his turf. He wanted those Saiyans gone, but I guess he just missed a few and got lazy to do anything about it. Utterly despicable, Beerus. Huh? Suddenly though, Belmod notices some power levels arriving. His attention is drawn to the sky, where 4 bright lights get larger and larger, their power surges increasing as they get closer too. And soon enough, as we zoom in, we see the four are none other than the protectors and Z-fighters of Earth: Gohan, Yamcha, Krillin, and Piccolo. Eventually they reach the gods, and Gohan is immediately surprised at their presence. But he has one thing on his mind to ask, and he says, "Hey, that clothing, you're the gods of destruction, aren't you? I remember you from the tournament. I don't know why you're here, but Dad and Vegeta have been missing for weeks now. Nobody's been able to get a hold of them, Beerus or Whis. Have you got any idea what's going on?" For a moment, there's a stalemate, as the gods just stare back at these mortals who dare address them so casually. And even Krillin comments, guys, they don't seem like they're in the talking mood. While Piccolo just grunts, "I have a bad feeling about this." Eventually though, from behind the gods, Liquiir, the god of destruction of Universe 9, appears, looking completely angered by their approach, responding, "Your dad and Vegeta? How interesting indeed. No wonder you thought you had the right to demand answers from a deity. It would appear that this child is one of the God Killer's spawn." What? Instantly shocking Piccolo as he hears the term God Killer being connected in any way to his friend Goku, as he continues, "Wait, what did you just say? Did you just call Son Goku and Vegeta God Killers? That's impossible." But Liquiir soon bares his teeth. Vexed now, he continues angrily, "No, it's not impossible, Namekian. It's the truth. His father and Vegeta, the traitors of this universe, have been sentenced to death for their actions, erased for the crime of killing Universe 7's god of destruction, Beerus. A crime we shall not stand for, and one that has still not had its toll paid." What? No! And in unison, Krillin, Yamcha, and Piccolo are left in disbelief, as Yamcha tries to alleviate the situation. "What? No way! There has to be some kind of mistake. They wouldn't do that." But Gohan is having a harder time receiving this information than anybody else. His mouth is wide open, sweat glistening on his face. Something inside him has clicked. He's not worrying about what they think his dad has done, he's worrying about what they've done to him. "Tell me, you didn't just say those words. You erased my dad, as in Hokkaido? You mean not even the Dragon Balls can ever bring him back now? You think you can just say that and get away with it?" And instantly, something snaps in Gohan. The same feeling covers his body as when he first saw Android 16 die before his eyes. And with a roar that has now become unlike Gohan, he screams loud, powering up, the energy surging around his body being immense. His hair stands on end, reaching to the heavens, his fist balled up and pointing down towards hell, the same place he wishes to send these gods who took his father away. And with complete conviction and confidence, Gohan leans forward and begins rushing in at the gods, fury etched all over his face. "I don't care what you think he's done! You bring my dad back now!" Belmont though just watches with his arms on his hips, unfazed and almost amused as a sinister look creeps onto his face, and he says, "Look at this. It seems that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? Can't say I'm surprised. I guess that means we have another god killer on the loose that needs to be put down. Ridiculous. Handle him now, Liquiir, so we can be done with this." And just like that, Liquiir instantly teleports in front of Gohan, responding, "Gladly." Gohan, seeing this though, instantly stops in his tracks, as in front of him is now a ball of Hakai, immediately enlarged and ready to be shot. Gohan can't help but think in fear, huh? How did he get there so fast? I barely saw him move. What is that energy? Is that? But determined to not waste any more time, the orb of destruction energy begins to grow at an alarming rate, and Liquiir opens his mouth wide and yells, "You filthy mortal! Time to pay for your father's sins! Hakai!" For a brief moment, Gohan is mentally lost in a state of shock. He has no idea what's happening, but even if he did, there would still be nothing that he could do about it. Slowly, we see Gohan being erased from existence, his whole body disappearing as he's frozen in place, until finally, there isn't a single trace left of Son Gohan, the Saiyan who once had the most potential. Gohan, no! And Piccolo, with more emotion than he's ever shown before, yells out with futility for the man he thought of like a son, reaching out to save him even though he is now dust. And Krillin is also filled with emotion, watching as someone he has seen grown from a child completely go away, as he yells, "No! Gohan, please hold on!" But Krillin doesn't even get to finish calling out for Gohan before his face changes as something doesn't feel right. Something is off. A sudden and sharp pain in his chest beginning to emerge, and when he looks down, it's soon revealed Krillin has been tragically shot with an arrow made of destruction energy, piercing his chest and going straight through the other side. Krillin can only look down and mutter, "What? Oh, why me?" As we then see his soon-to-be murderer standing with a smile, pleased with herself, and even holding the very bow that shot Krillin. Helios, the god of destruction of universe too. She says, "Nice, that's a perfect shot. Told you fools, I knew these Hakai arrows would come in handy. Well, that's my part done. One less threat to the gods removed. You're welcome. I'll let you guys handle the rest of this scum." While Krillin stands rooted to the spot, unable to move, and then slowly, he too starts to fade from existence as the Hakai energy from the arrow begins to seep into his body, until the best friend of Son Goku is now nothing more than particulate matter. Krillin, no! Piccolo can only stare in panic, powerless to stop his friends, his loved ones from being erased. He feels at this moment he either fights and dies or dies without a chance, like the rest. He shouts out to Yamcha, gritting his teeth, "Yamcha, listen to me, we don't have much time. I need you to back me up while I attack. This is our last chance to save Earth and everybody we love." What? But Piccolo too soon finds his words interrupted, as he now stares into a sight that no mortal should ever see, even in their worst nightmares. Surrounding Piccolo are 4 gods of destruction: Kitela, Sidra, Rumshi, and Arak. Their hands pointed firmly at the Namekian, blocking any escape and trapping him like a lab rat. Piccolo, staring in panic, can only let out, "No, their speed! I can't even keep up with them, especially when their ki is undetectable." In a last-ditch effort, Piccolo looks to Yamcha for some backup and yells, "Yamcha, we've got no choice! Use your solar!" But as Piccolo turns around, he shockingly notices that not even a trace of Yamcha remains. Could he have been taken out already by the gods? No. He still alive, just flying away with his eyes full of tears, yelling, "No way in hell am I sticking around for that! I'm out of here!" As Piccolo just watches on gobsmacked that this was the reaction of Earth's final defense. We then get a close-up on the faces of the 4 gods surrounding Piccolo. They look vengeful. Determined in their mission, in unison, they all yell, "Hakai!" As 4 massive balls of destruction then proceed to scrape onto Piccolo, as the Namekian opens his mouth and screams in terror and pain, before he too finally becomes nothing but dust. Goku's first great rival and Gohan's second father, now gone forever. And now, with all the important and most powerful fighters of Earth disposed of personally, Belmont begins laughing mockingly, while carrying above him a humongous ball of Hakai aimed only at one place, as he commands, "Fellow gods of destruction, I invite you to join me in the erasure of the God Killer's home. If you want revenge for Beerus, say I! As each one of the other 10 gods of destruction yell in unison in agreement. And soon after, we're treated to a shocking image of all 11 gods, hands out, and some form of Hakai energy ball, all different styles and shapes, together one final time. This is for Beerus! Hakai! And thus from the silence of space, we from a distance see all 11 Hakais impact on the Earth, inevitably causing it to slowly completely erase. From the city, we see a familiar young woman holding a precious baby. As the oblivious baby's face begins to vanish in the light, we all realize it is tragically Baby Pan. And as she too disappears forever, she naively lets out, "Grandpa?" Before just like that, planet Earth and all its inhabitants are lost forever at the hands of the merciless gods of destruction. Ultra Vegito is left in complete shock, tears flowing from his eyes. "No! Those monsters! They really did it! Billions of people! Innocents! My family! My friends! They'll pay! They will pay!" Tears continue to flood Ultra Vegito's eyes, as for a moment he thinks in silence, wallowing in the sorrow and pain of what he's just witnessed. In that moment, he can only call out the name of his first son. "Gohan, I'm so sorry. Take me to their killers now!" But suddenly, in a rage like a switch has flipped, Ultra Vegito yells at the staff he wields as if it were his slave, and instantly he and the angelic staff find themselves shooting off majestically. Eventually Vegito arrives somewhere foreign, in another universe, in a place he's never seen before. His fury is slowly replaced with intrigue as he looks around, wondering where Whis' staff has taken him to. Where the hell am I? This place seems so strange. I don't even know if the staff took me to where I wanted to go. Vegito thinks for a second, looking around at the strange inhabitants of this planet that are looking back at him from the shadows, just as confused as he is. I guess I could use instant transmission to pinpoint where this universe's god of destruction is hiding. Vegito places 2 fingers to his head and waits, but nothing happens. Then he realizes what he's done wrong. Oh right, I forgot. I can't sense a god's key signature. Damn it. Hold up. Maybe I can. Vegito then violently grabs the staff and yells out, Take me to this universe's god of destruction immediately! And the staff then mysteriously once again does as it's told, and Vegito shoots off once more, leaving as quickly as he arrived. And Ultra Vegito then suddenly arrives on another strange planet, this time on one very similar to Beerus's old home. Huh? Immediately, Liquir's angel Korn senses an intruder, his eyes darting to the direction of where his senses are rising from. He informs Liquir by his side, "My lord, I do not mean to alarm you, but it appears that someone has arrived, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe your life may be in danger." Oh. At first, Liquir appears unbothered, but a sense of curiosity then inevitably reaches him as he responds, "My life in danger? Now who the hell would be powerful enough in this universe to make you say that, Korn?" "Probably the God Killer, you damn fox! And I think it's time to remind you why I have that name." Instantly starting the duo who could not sense Ultra Vegito in his perfected form. "Huh? Who the hell is that?" While Korn says, "No, that staff." And as Vegito slowly descends, he mockingly lets out, "Look at your dumb faces! Do you even realize yet who has arrived before you? I guess it's been 10 years. Maybe you're starting to lose your eyesight in your old age, Liquir." "What? It's you! How? How is this possible? You should be dead. You should have been erased." As now Liquir's face changes to one of shock as it finally becomes clear who this figure in the air is. Meanwhile, Vegito descends laughing. "About time, you dumb fox!" Before landing on the ground, simultaneously stabbing the staff into the floor for it to stand up by itself upright. Vegito then continues, responding to Liquir saying, "But yes, Fox, you're right. I should be dead. And in fact, I am. On the inside. What is before you now is a ghost of my former self. And I won't be laid to rest until you gods pay for what you did to Earth, to my family and friends, and for what you did to Gohan!" Immediately, on reminding himself on what happened to his oldest son, Ultra Vegito ferociously powers up, the ground around him cracking from the weight of such a monstrous surge of energy. His hand letting go of Whis' staff now, ready to take revenge for everything. "What the hell is this now? This looks like both destruction energy and Ultra Instinct. Is this what Beerus was dealing with when he died? Impossible!" The power of Vegito proves so great, even the god of destruction must cover himself as he looks in awe. "What the?" But suddenly, from behind Liquir, Ultra Vegito appears, flying at him emotionless but at full speed with his arm already cocked back. And with a punch Vegito has been waiting 10 years to deliver, Ultra Vegito slams Liquir right in his face, causing the god to draw blood, as he's seen flying at top speed towards one of the planet's mountains, crash landing deep into it with seemingly no way to stop himself. Meanwhile, Liquir's angel watches the fight unfold from the side, and surprised at what he's just witnessed, he thinks, "This mortal is like none other I have seen before. He was on Liquir before he could even move. That's some speed, considering Lord Liquir is known around the multiverse for just how fast he is. Yet he didn't even have a chance to block that attack. what's worse, I didn't anticipate it either. As Corn thinks on, Liquiir immediately bursts out of the mountain, angrier than ever, living up to his appearance, growling like a feral beast. He stares at Vegito like he's his next meal and proclaims, "You may have killed Beerus with that kind of lucky punch, I'll give you that. But I'll be damned if you slaughter another one of us deities, you filthy mortal. Allow me to remind you why we are gods and you are just another lowly life form." With that comment, Liquiir balls his fists together, digs his feet into the ground and powers up. Rocks and debris blast away from him. The air around him intensifies and begins to crackle with lightning and sparks as the fox god begins emanating a powerful destruction energy from his very skin. And from behind, he suddenly sprouts 9 tails, each one with a small but concentrated ball of destruction energy sitting at the top. Ultra Vegito, meanwhile, seeing this, is left completely taken aback for a second. With a bemused face, he responds, "What the? A 9-tailed fox, huh? Now why does that sound familiar?" Thinking back to an old anime Trunks was watching on TV. Liquiir, on the other hand, doesn't find any of this funny. He's serious in his intentions, and as he gears up to fire, he yells, "Prepare to die, God Killer!" And just like that, Liquiir instantly sends off all 9 balls of her kind, shot like cannonballs, each one so dangerous, just the slightest graze would result in complete erasure. But Ultra Vegito, either stupidly or confidently, remains totally calm, completely unfazed as he stands there watching as the balls of energy approach him. He just stares on coldly and thinks to himself, "That's really the best he's got? Ridiculous. I grow tired of this already. This is no challenge whatsoever. It seems I found myself at the home of the weakest god. Typical. I'll end this here and now find the others. Hopefully, they'll at least make me break a sweat before I dispose of them." And with that said, Vegito conjures his signature energy sword in his left arm. A blade so sharp it could cut through anything. A true Godslayer blade. He plants his feet into the ground, waiting for the right moment to attack, taking his time before Ultra Vegito, without any fear, shoots into the heart of the balls of energy, and skillfully he moves through them, dodging each at the very last second until, before Liquiir can understand what's going on, Ultra Vegito lands perfectly beside him, balancing on one knee, his back to him, his blade still drawn behind him, and his face looking away as if he doesn't need to see what he's done because he already knows. Meanwhile, we see Liquiir's face is decidedly different, full of shock and open mouth. As he stands there with that frozen face, he inexplicably is still in that position and only mutters the words, "God Killer." And we then go into the view of Liquiir, who at the moment can see his beloved angel Corn, until suddenly, the angle of his view sharply changes, before falling on the ground and turning in a way that should just not be possible. And standing there, now headless, with Liquiir's skull on the ground, is a decapitated god of destruction, explaining exactly what we just saw. After enough blood gushes out, Liquiir's lifeless body eventually then falls to the ground, to the back of a now standing Vegito. Coldly, knowing his job is now done, Vegito then retracts his energy blade. And with now not even the slightest sign of remorse, Ultra Vegito then walks over to the deceased body and looks down, saying, 10 years! 10 years just so you could last less than a minute against me. No wonder you wanted me dead. How could a god command any respect knowing full well they couldn't even hold a candle to a mortal? Soon, Vegito just as calmly places his hand out, and using his perfectly controlled destruction energy, creates his own ball of Hakai. As he looks down on Liquiir one last time, he says, "Not even death is enough for you, Fox. You and your kind erased everything I ever loved, everything in my life that was good. They can't even enjoy the afterlife because of your actions. And now, neither will you. Hakai!" And with that, Ultra Vegito mercilessly erases what's left of Liquiir, his decapitated body and lone head too. And now, with at least Gohan avenged, Vegito walks back over to Whis' staff, ready to leave for his next destination and victim. But from behind, Korn calls out, "Wait, Vegito." The angel has been watching patiently, and with a slight bit of hesitation proclaims, "Before you go, there is something I must say to you. That staff that you wield as your own is not for mortal use. As I'm sure you are aware, that belongs to my dear brother Whis. I know not what you have done to him, nor how you are even able to wield its power. But it's blasphemous for an angel's instrument to be handled by those it is not meant for, especially for the evil deeds you are carrying out. I suggest that you leave that here, for you have already done enough to dirty the name of the angels, and I will not stand for any more." For a moment, there is a silence as Vegito says nothing in return. But with a sudden and maniacal turn of his face, Ultra Vegito is seen as he lets out incredibly, "Oh yeah? Then do something about it, weakling!" But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag weakling in the comments down below, and let me know if you need to see a Saiyan take on an angel for the very first time. Additionally, if you need this next chapter out next, you can help fund its production on my Patreon, where for just $3, you're not only supporting this story's next chapter, but also get a ton of exclusive manga goodies shipped to your address in return too. But if you just want to watch more of my signature content, just click on one of these two videos on the right now. Until next video, guys, cheers.